Welcome to Alabama Manufacturing Now, hosted by the Alabama Training Network, a podcast where we cover a wide array of challenges, solutions, and innovations for manufacturers and businesses.
We're your hosts, Whitney Barlow
and Paige Caulfield.
Alabama Training Network, powered by the Alabama Community College System, built for training, driven by workforce. Welcome back to Alabama Manufacturing Now. I'm your co-host, Whitney Barlow, here with Paige Caulfield, and we are so excited today to have our Medium Manufacturer of the Year for the MADI Awards that's triple co-hosted, I guess, by Manufacture Alabama, BCA, and the Alabama Training Network. So EFI and our friends Wilhelmina and Pam are here with us today, and we are so excited to learn more about your company and how you're involved in it and what has made our judges, which was not Paige and I, notice and recognize you as this year's Manufacturer of the Year. Ladies, how are y'all doing?
Great. Thank you.
Very good. How are y'all?
We're doing really well.
Thank you for joining us today.
Let's start today by just recognizing EFI and who y'all are, what the company is, and what each one of you do there with the company.
Okay, you can talk about the company.
So EFI is a automotive manufacturing facility. We specialize in injection molding, and that is for camshaft and crankshaft sensors for Ford, GM, and Stellantis. We also do some transmission range sensors here as well. And I am Pamela Leahy. I'm the production manager here. So I oversee all of the 3 shifts of production.
Nice.
I'm Wilhelmina Leslie. I'm the HR manager here at EFI, and my goal here is to ensure that our workforce, to focus on the workforce and make sure that they are happy, they are getting what they need as they prepare the parts to ship out to our customers.
So, as a team, I think both of you represent both sides of the spectrum for EFI, both the production side, which is the producing, satisfying your customers on this end, and then Wilhelmina represents the actual workforce. So this is a great combination. I am so glad y'all are both on here. Can y'all talk about a little bit about what team means to y'all at EFI?
Team for me as the production manager means everybody in this building. We're all going to one common goal. We all want to make sure that we send good quality parts to the customer. We want to try as a EFI mission to do that in a more of a family-oriented environment for the people, where I know every single person in this building. We all try to work together for the common goal, and that's ultimately what everybody wants, is to make the money for the customer and do it as a team and have a good time, really, Work can be, work. We want to enjoy it.
With the people and production, my goal is to make sure that we represent everybody. So here, culturally speaking, we have people from France, from China, from Mexico, from globally speaking, from everywhere. And my goal is to make sure that culturally we understand other people's cultures as well as the American culture where we work. So it's just making sure everybody melds together and we enjoy it. We do enjoy it.
Yes.
That'd be so cool.
That would be cool.
Did they ever make croissants for y'all?
Yes, we've had croissants, crepes, macaroons, and then we get actual Mexican food, Chinese food, Indian food. So it's a cultural melting pot. We enjoy it.
Yes.
And we learn from each other. That makes it great here.
Yeah. So EFI, where you all are, you're in Alabama, but EFI as a whole is a global company, correct? Y'all have locations all around.
Yes.
Okay. What ties the Alabama plant to the global side of EFI? So how does the Alabama facility fit into the worldwide operations?
I would think that would be the France, our parent company, noticed the opportunities that they had in America with the American-made vehicles. And with American-made vehicles wanting to be American-made, to be part of that, they would have to open up a plant in America.
Mhm.
They researched and found that this was the perfect location for them.
Mhm.
It's close to Huntsville,
Mhm.
so we're close to metropolitan areas. We're close to Nashville. We're close to Birmingham. We're only 3 hours away from Memphis, so we've got cultural areas around us, but it also had a good global workforce because of what Huntsville brings.
Yeah. Great.
I think that that's a really important factor, and a lot of companies consider when they're looking at Alabama, especially in automotive. We know that Alabama has become quite the automotive hub for the
Mhm.
Southeast and most of the United States now. So, automotive industry evolves rapidly. It's ever changing. The cars I drove when I turned 16 is definitely not the car that my soon to be 16-year-old will be driving. So can you explain how EFI has evolved with that, how what the products you made, how you're constantly making sure that it's staying up to date and adapting to the entire industry as it shifts towards what we had into what we do, especially since it's American cars. I mean,
Mhm.
you kind of see there is definitely a difference in the American car versus a foreign car and how that looks. And what do y'all think, ladies?
So for me, the innovation that we're doing now, obviously, you see the go back and forth between the electronic vehicles and the combustion engine vehicles. We know it's been pushed a few times, right? So we ensure that we're making anything that we can with better quality, with robots, with any kind of visual camera to be innovative to send the good quality part to the customer in the combustion engine version. We also work with our France team to look at going into EV because obviously over in Europe, they're far ahead of us on the EV scale. So they have already developed some sensors over there for the EV side. So we are actually uh, going to start this July ish with our first EV components for vehicles. There's a launch out.
No, that's great. Congratulations.
That's huge.
Yeah.
I drive a hybrid. And the sensors definitely are different.
Mhm.
And sometimes when the sensors go
It is.
off, it's too late.
How has workforce partnerships such as Alabama Training Network, how has that supported EFI's automotive growth and success?
Okay. We have workforce partnerships, of course, with like Athens State University and Calhoun Community College, where we help with, the training. We do internships. They come in, do co-ops, and they get to see what the industry is like.
Mhm.
We also partner with AIDT
Mhm.
through the what is it, RTP, the robotics training
Yep.
part.
Mhm.
Mhm. For training, but partnerships like ATN help us continue to develop that workforce because we're getting more trained individuals. And with those partnerships, it also helps us if we find where like a certain skill is lacking with somebody
Mhm.
or with a department or something like that, we can look through their skill network and there's actually trainings that ATN provides
Mhm.
that we can send people to. One we have coming up is actually in Shoals, I
Mhm.
believe, and it's a leadership program, the leadership training
Yes.
program for our leadership that we have here and the development leaders. So we try to keep in touch with the local community and things that
Mhm.
they have to offer because it's important to the work side that EFI provides is part of the community and provides jobs for the people in the community.
Mhm.
Mhm.
So we do what it takes to upskill those people
Yeah.
to make them positive,
Yeah.
employees for EFI.
Yeah, investing in your people is very important. Mhm.
I think that's
Invest in the people.
Mhm.
and you have people, like you've said, that are global. So,
Mhm.
they're not from Alabama originally and, not born and raised, and the South is a very unique, world if you're not born and raised from it. And so it's a culture all in itself. Even for you think you're coming to the United States and you're like, no, you're coming to the South.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, it's just unique. We've noticed that with a lot of our clients, is where they have even people from all the United States, but they're coming from out west or up north. It's a culture shock when you come to Alabama or the Southeast.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that plays a lot to what y'all are doing and wanting to invest in your workforce is making sure that meshes. And just because you're a fantastic leader and even from the South, you leave the South, the whole character of you has to kind of change to meet the profile of the expectations, which I think is really interesting and plays into the economic and community involvement that EFI has. I think in like the region, and for y'all, I would say, especially with where you're located, you're hitting Alabama, Tennessee, and Mississippi with your workforce and your impact. So do y'all want to talk a little bit about that and how EFI plays that role economically and community driven in all of your components?
It's actually I need to think about that one. That's not a good one for
I
me.
can do the community part. When I first came to EFI 2 years ago, we started participating in the community, like getting real involved with the Athens Chamber of Commerce, the NCEDA, the Limestone County Economic Development.
Yes, our friends Bethany and
and
Blake.
trying to
Bethany and
Yes.
Blake. Yes.
well,
yes.
we tried to. I don't want to say buy into, but we try to promote as much as we can, especially to those organizations that may work with underprivileged people or people that don't have a lot. Economically, I believe that we try to do, I don't know how to say it, wage comparisons to make sure, because Elkmont is a small town. It doesn't have a lot of money in this small town. A lot of these people are farmers and they're raised by farmers. And then people come from outside and they see this small town.
Yep.
It's like, how can you survive? Well, we try to do that by making the wages, we try to not compete, but be comparative to the wages around us. So it uplifts the people and gives them a sense of worth and being able to, in this ever-changing market, with the cost of living increases and stuff, that gives them an option to where they can live without assistance, without outside help, that we can provide everything that they would need for them from this place, EFI.
Yeah.
I think that's Wilhelmina, you have summed up the point that I try to make every time we're on this podcast is that Alabama is a rural state. And that even though we have so much technology, I think that sometimes people outside of the state get confused and think that those hubs only exist in those corners where we actually have more population. But you, and just the essence what EFI does and how you're partnering with your parent company in France to figure out sensors for electronic vehicles, and you're there in rural Alabama. You have so much technology that you're bringing to the table, and then you're improving quality of life in rural Alabama. And that speaks volumes of what your company represents and who you are. And that's just tremendous.
Thank you.
So let's talk a little bit about supply chain. So we talked a little bit about, automotive manufacturing is just blossoming and ever changing in technology, but it also relies heavy on a strong supply chain network. How does EFI Automotive collaborate with OEMs and suppliers and industry partners?
So supply chain in automotive's been heavily impacted by the tariffs for the past year. So it's been a little bit difficult for us. We have some of the rare earth magnets go into our sensors. So getting them out of China also has been a job in itself. Our supply chain group here has been amazing in working through the tariffs and getting the parts here that we need without shutting our line down or affecting our customers. And on the other hand as well, Ford, GM, and Chrysler are also always working with us, helping us with identifying where we can get money to help pay for the tariffs if need be, or helping put some, little bit of pressure to get parts to us. So it's very much a hand in hand with the OEM, the suppliers for us, and then even working through the government, the trials with the tariffs.
Yeah, that's great that you get some help.
What about continuous improvement? How do y'all continue, not to be redundant, continue to do process improvement and operational excellence with all of those? That's got to be an ever changing, especially with what you just talked about with tariffs. You're kind of having to, duck and dive and make sure everything keeps running while you're making sure everything's coming in.
Yes. And we rely a lot on our people for some of the continuous improvement ideas because, they're the ones actually working here. They're the ones that are putting parts together. They have the ideas. We try to also do, as much more technology as we can. Our goal is to be a zero defect company. That is a very big stretch goal for any company. So, we try to use technology, continuous improvement, anything to rule out, a human error through a part. So, if we want to use a camera or we want to use a robot, we start looking into that stuff. Industrialization team, those guys are amazing at coming up with ideas to make things better.
We also have people on the floor that actually work on our machines. And let's say they see a machine that's constantly doing the same thing, causing a breakdown or something like that. We've actually had them think they may not have the technical skills to make it happen, but they can explain it in a way that the maintenance people can look at it and say, well, yes, this is possible, and actually improve the process on a machine. And this is just from a regular worker, production worker that may have just graduated high school or not graduated high school at all. We take ideas for continuous improvement from every corner that we can. We utilize everybody.
That's awesome.
Okay, I have to ask, what's your favorite idea that's been brought that you're like, man, what would we have done without that?
Oh. What about the water thing for the bubble test?
The water thing?
What Chelsea did?
Yes.
There.
Yeah.
I gave her one.
So we had an operator on a machine. It's called a bubble test, and it's where you submerge a sensor and check to see if it bubbles. So if there's a leak path where it could damage the sensor, it was a kind of I don't want to say rudimentary type of test, but it was brought together just to do that, and it would splash everywhere, and it would create a mess.
And a safety hazard.
And a safety hazard for the floor. So we had an operator, a second shift operator who was running the machine, and she was tired of getting wet and tired of everything. So she worked together with our maintenance team, and they actually came up with a way to fix the whole thing and make it even more efficient for her.
Wow.
So she's not getting wet. She's able to get the machine quicker. Everything is contained in the machine now. So, and then they're able to increase the production and output. So it was fantastic. It was a good,
That is awesome.
good idea.
Yes, I love that.
Yeah.
Accolades all around.
That's right.
What? So if you have students, either in high school or community college, or adults that are interested in coming into the automotive industry, what are some things that they can? I mean, I know this is an industry that we have been pushing very hard, but people still, it's like they live under rocks. I know y'all know this, right? What are some of the things you encourage them to do?
Well, for encouragement wise, I would encourage them to go visit plants, visit manufacturing, because Alabama is built on manufacturing. It's got a backbone in manufacturing. It doesn't matter if it's the space stuff going on in Huntsville, or like our little plant. Go visit the plant.
Yeah.
See what it's like, because not you have this dream. A lot of people have this dream that plants are dirty, nasty, greasy, only the poor, uneducated
Mm-hmm.
people work in plants. There's no way to go forward. You just go into plants and you're just a drudgery worker for 20, 30 years of your life.
Mm-hmm.
And that is not the case, especially here at EFI. You might come in on the production floor, which is the best way to start, but you could end up a production supervisor, a production manager. You can go into, we have people that's moved from the floor into quality technicians into the lab. There's so many aspects of manufacturing that it's not just the dirty stuff that you see on TV.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually a pretty fascinating area to be in. It's ever changing. It changes daily. There's nothing the same. You never get the same stuff.
Yeah.
And
So that's my
that's really cool. On the quality side, how do y'all feel about the quality improvement that you see with EFI? I mean, that's got to be a lot of, especially if you want to have a zero defect. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
that's strong.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Quality is ever changing. And
Yes.
sometimes you have a defect that I've never seen before. And then that's kind of where we're at. Our quality has been fairly stable. I mean, we have really good scorecards with all three of our main suppliers, as well as the other smaller ones. So um, we have to just keep digging deep and doing all of the good 8Ds, the 5Ys, the fish bones,
Mm-hmm.
and following up with your root causes, making sure that all of the things we implement will stop the reoccurrence of the issue.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes that's not so easy. You have something internally on an electronic sensor and it's stumping you, and you look and you look and you look and you try things and it doesn't work, and then you have to keep going.
Mm-hmm.
So it's more of a deep dive into it, but I like to think our quality team is getting stronger as we go through the more tough quality issues that we see.
Yeah. Yeah, that's great. So let's talk a little bit about industry trends. What trends are you seeing or y'all seeing shaping the future of the automotive industry over the next? We'll just say over
I
the
know
next
one of the
decade.
trends I noticed, a lot of like European countries, they're going to the way of the EV, the electric vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
And what I've found from talking to expatriates, the ones that work here, the ones that visit,
Mhm.
is that the United States is a different animal altogether because in other countries, when you say, I'm going to drive 5 hours to see mom, it's a long way for them.
Right.
For me to go home and visit my parents, I will do it in a weekend and say, hey, I'm going to take the 5 hour drive on a Friday when I get off of work and I'll be back on Monday morning. It's not a big deal.
Right.
America is having a hard time leaving the combustion engines behind because I wouldn't be able to do that all the time if I was in an electric vehicle. And that's problematic. We need to move towards electric vehicles because that's where it's environmentally friendly and it's safer
Mm-hmm.
for the roads. So that's just my take on trends.
Yeah, and also it's changing a little bit with the customers where you used to launch a project in 3 years, right? Now they want you to quickly develop something to fill a need, and they're giving you 3 months to do it. So the challenge is gonna be trying to keep the quality in that, get the challenges met and exceed what they need, and keep moving forward. So it's a fast pace. It's even faster than when we started off as, normal 3-year launch of a product. Yep. Nope. Okay, we gotta have it in 6 months. So that's also
And
the trend that we see
yeah.
along the customer side.
And what is EFI doing to try to prepare for those trends that are coming up?
Well, we've got to develop, like she was saying earlier, like Pam said earlier, we're developing the EV for GM, a launch in June, July of this year for electric vehicles. but we also maintain like warranty supplies. We still build our warranty stock for older vehicles because we don't want to leave our older we don't want it to ever be that, oh, well, your vehicle's a 2010. We don't have parts for it anymore. You're out of luck. You have to buy an electric vehicle.
Yeah.
Have to maintain a balance between both.
Mm.
It's all about balance for the customers.
Yeah.
So they can keep making their vehicles and putting it online and servicing vehicles that have already been made.
Yeah. Good point.
And most of the innovation for future technologies is done over in France. They also had done a prototype of a battery that will actually just roll under your vehicle to charge your vehicle while it's in the garage.
No more plugging in
No
to
more
the wall.
plugging into the
Oh,
wall.
cool.
So there's things like that they're looking into to, allow us to continue growing for the future.
That's like-
EFI just doesn't do vehicles, they do lighting.
Okay.
They have a lighting segment in France and the innovation segment. And the under the car charger that she was talking about, it looks like the robot sweeper in your house.
Oh,
Yes.
cool.
You know, the little robot thing that goes,
Yeah.
but as you pull up, it'll automatically go under your car and start charging your car.
Well, that is interesting.
I love that.
Yeah, that is really neat. Is that okay? Well,
But I think you made a really good point on the EV side that I've never really thought about is that my husband and I looked at buying an EV, and that was the exact reason why we did not buy it. We loved the car, but when you put pen to paper of the charge time and what the drive time is and how much
Mhm.
we're in our vehicles and how many miles we cover in a day, and we just don't even think about it. I mean, we'll drive back and forth, we'll put 100, 200 miles on a car in a day, and we don't have a lot of public transportation like they do in Europe. So you are very, very heavily reliable on your car.
Reliable.
Yes.
Mhm.
I never
And
thought
I'm not
about it.
saying the US won't. It's not that the US is not going to move up, but they're just gonna have to make the EV vehicles where they go further
Yeah.
on
Mhm.
one charge.
Yeah.
But it's companies like you that's figuring out how to do those things. And I think one thing about this podcast that we really need to make sure we publicize too is you've made so many valid points to kids or students or people that are interested in problem solving, in fast pace, in the continued evolution. Those are all things, again, when you talk about manufacturing in the old sense, those are not things that people thought about. They're like, it's a mundane, continuous job that you're going to do, put the screw on the continuous and just in what you've talked about. In my opinion, and just my opinion, for a kid that's looking at trying to problem solve, that loves to figure out how things work, that their opinion, because we know with younger generations, that's something that companies are having to realize is that they bring information to the table that you might not know, not because they have more wisdom, but because they just have more technology that they've been exposed to. And knowing that EFI respects that and allows for that voice to be heard, these are all major components, which is why you're the manufacturer of the year.
That's right.
But these are major components that play into recruiting people to come work there, and that makes me excited for
Yeah.
the future.
That is. So this is a little bit off course, but I just have to ask back to manufacturer of the year. What did you think about the process as a whole, from start to finish, from nomination to application to the event to the ceremony itself?
Okay, well, it actually made me this is hard. I found a deeper love for what I do because, again, being on the people side of it, I don't always think of the technical aspects of it. So when you get the questionnaire that you have to fill out and you have to know, like, how much money are you actually bringing in? How much money are you putting out? The economic influence that you have on your community. Letters from people saying, do they recommend us? Do they, what do you see positive about EFI? Where can we improve about EFI? And then actually going down to the ceremony was almost surreal. To be honest, the four of us that were down there, none of us thought we were going to be we were going to make it because we had just started.
Mm-hmm.
We were not just started EFI, but we had just started, going up, climbing up this hill again.
Mm-hmm.
And we were just, when it happened, I can remember our plant manager, her mouth just going because she wanted to scream. It's just
She could have screamed.
none of
We'd allow it.
thought, but none of us. I mean, it was not even an inkling. We wanted it so bad, but when you want something so bad, you
Mm-hmm.
don't want to think that you're going to get it because you don't want the disappointment that comes
Right.
afterwards.
Yeah.
But now handling this, it is still displayed in our lobby. It's in a prominent place so everybody sees it. And
Awesome.
we want it again. Now we want it again. And now we're doing, what can we do to be the best again? We need to be at the top. What are we going to do to make this improve?
Mm-hmm.
And then the people that we met there at the meeting in Montgomery, I still get emails from people that we met.
That's
And it
awesome.
gave me introductions to more areas where we can introduce EFI into the community and into the state.
That makes me
Yeah,
that makes my heart warm.
that is great. I'm going to use it as a Maudie success story. That's phenomenal. Well, do y'all do tours? Is there a way for me and Whitney to come see it?
Mhm.
Yes,
We
Oh,
do.
yeah, we'll bring some people.
Whoops.
Awesome. That's so great.
Just got to wear closed-toed shoes. You have to wear closed-toed shoes.
That's okay.
We
can handle
You don't get to wear the pretty sandals.
So,
Yeah.
those days have passed.
I was about to say those days are kind of gone.
I'm in flat closed-toe shoes. The days of heels are few and far between these days.
Yeah.
I was always told that. Now I know.
We have
Yeah.
to stress that.
If there are
People want to wear flip-flops.
yeah.
Well, we teach leadership management and development, right? And so that's one of the things we talk about is properly dress attire. It's amazing how many want to wear flip-flops and pajamas. I'm like, you realize when that falls, it's over for you. But yeah, they don't. They don't.
So if there are people out there that aren't really familiar with EFI, what would you tell them? What's one thing that you would like for them to know about EFI?
Employees first.
Yes.
Great. It's a good answer.
Our employees go first. We always try to do what's best for the employee we do ask for the documentation, the paperwork and stuff, but
Mhm.
on the backside where most companies can't listen to a specific employee may have this problem,
Mhm.
we can, and we do work around it regardless of if it's, you know, acceptable paperwork wise. And I don't mean that illegally. What I'm talking about is you got somebody that just started and they found out that maybe they're having a baby. So they don't cover under FMLA. They're not covered under short-term disability. They haven't been here a year. They don't get to do all that. We will still find a way to keep that person no matter what. Our
That's great.
employees come first.
That's great.
That's very important.
Who you got,
Mhm.
Pam?
Yes, and I think the culture here, as we've had employees leave, to see what else is out there, all the bright, shiny things in Huntsville, called them. I think when they get out there, it's much more
Cutthroat?
cutthroat. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Exactly. When you cutthroat, and here it's not that we're laying back, but we're more. Um, I say it again, family. It's more like working with your family. Small type of company. We rely on each other, and yes, we have to do normal rules. We still have to follow all the rules, but in general, it's more like a small family.
Mm.
We spend 8 hours a day with each other, and it's
Mhm.
I like how one is.
Yeah.
I think that's important because in previous podcasts throughout the past 2 years, we've talked about that is that a lot of people think it's about the salary, but it's really not. It's really about how you deal well with your supervisors and
Mhm.
what your work culture is, and not to be culture as in, like you said, I'm not meaning illegal. We don't mean culture by that that term that everyone uses as the end term. I'm talking about truly like feeling like family because you want to go to work, you want to do a good job, you want to be a part because you feel part of a team and you feel that people care about you and they miss you when you're gone and they want to help you when things are not going right. And that's what people really want in life.
Some people might even take less salary to get that. So,
Yes.
Yes.
Ladies, I cannot even tell y'all how excited I am that we've got a chance to talk to y'all today. And I'm telling you, Paige Caulfield, you better be talking to Wilhelmina and we better be getting, or Eleanor. My daughter's name is Eleanor, as well. But, I love that name. But to go up there, I've got to go tour EFI.
That would be great. That would be fun.
Do y'all have anything?
We'd enjoy having you.
Oh,
Yes.
and bring some people. We're gonna bring some.
We're gonna bring some people.
And we'll make a
Well,
little trip.
just so you know, this year is EFI's global 90th anniversary.
Wow.
They started in 1936 in France.
In France.
And we celebrating globally. And I believe tentatively June 6th, we are having our anniversary party here. So if you'd like, I could probably pass out an invite your way.
Please do.
Please
do. Yeah.
So the 30s in France,
Saturday.
a little bit of a tumultuous time. Did EFI start with anything directed around that? Is that what it was conception from? Do y'all know?
What was that? I'm sorry.
The 30s, in 1930s, it was all the world wars were going on. So did EFI, is that what, like, it was created around some of that and kind of evolved into what it is today? I was just curious.
I believe so. They were just doing sensors. We're actually researching, and France is sending over their actual start.
Okay.
Because where France started in 1936, we actually just celebrated our 20th year here in 24. So this facility's been here since 2004, and the France facility since 1936. So when we get all that, you'd have to come to the party on June 6th and you can see the history of EFI because we're going to create like a mini picture museum.
Oh, that is
from the
gonna be
beginning.
awesome. Yes. Well, please send us an invitation. We would love to come and check that out.
Okay.
That sounds really cool. So thank you, ladies, for both being with us today. If there is anything that you want to leave us with, any more comments,
How does someone get in touch with you?
yeah, how would somebody go about getting in touch with you guys? How does that work?
Well, getting in touch with us, we have my general email address is efi.hr@efiautomotive.com. And then by phone, they can reach HR at 256-742-1284, or they can text the number, and I will gladly take any text, calls, emails. I'll look at everything.
Wonderful.
It's been a pleasure speaking with you, ladies.
Yeah, just out of curiosity, are there any current job openings right now for you guys in Elkmont?
We are looking for 2 maintenance technicians.
Okay.
We have, with injection molding experience, we are looking for 2 process engineers to help with our future developments. We just started a line in this past January. We're starting another one in June.
Okay.
And that's, prolonging our status here.
Yeah.
We also have a plant manager. Our plant manager, Eleanor, will be returning to France in June. So we will be looking for an operations plant manager. She's going back to EFI in France.
Okay.
And a safe launch engineer. So yes, we are always looking for people.
And they can
email me resumes. They can
text
me.
Right. And if they want more information, they could head over to your website, which is what?
www.efiautomotive.com.
Great. All right. Well, thank you both again so much, ladies, for being with us and for talking with us. We learned a good bit about EFI and we enjoyed it. And we hope to see you again much later at that celebration.